Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, 3 suspects were arrested in DeWitt County and are facing charges of stealing a San Antonio Police Department vehicle. And President Biden unveils $7.3 trillion proposed for his 2025 budget plan. Plus, it's time to report to prison for former Trump advisor Peter Navarro. We'll tell you about the new request to postpone his surrender date while his appeal makes its way through a D.C. federal court.
Take a look on the outside. This is a live view from the WeatherBug site in Cuero, of course. With clear skies, some few high clouds floating around, but not anything producing any rainfall, at least not yet. We'll give you the details in the forecast.
And the kids may be out on spring break, but baseball marches on. I'll have highlights coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
I'm Trey Manning.
And today it's the 12th day of March.
It is, marching on quite rapidly.
Marching on toward that Easter parade, right, Trey?
There you go, yes.
And it's 6:31, or about there to that 7 o'clock point, and it is Alfred Hitchcock Day, Trey.
Oh, yes. What a classic movies.
Oh, yes. My favorite definitely is Vertigo.
That's a good one. Also, like The Birds, and there's, of course, his classic Psycho that he's known
Oh, yeah,
most
Psycho.
for.
So great for editing.
Very, very much so. He kind of keeps the scene out of the frame because it gives you more, let your imagination kind of run wild with that.
And he captured some of the most beautiful helicopter shots of California in so many of his films. Trey, I'm going to recommend Foreign Correspondent for your next Hitchcock film showing. It's so good.
Very good. I'll get your endorsement and I'll be all set to go. Very good. All right, let's see. We're looking at Cuero. Pretty much quiet this hour in the Golden Crescent region with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. So not too bad I got out there this morning. There were some patchy fog areas, but looks like they have all pretty much lifted now. So we're just going on with good weather. Take a look at this. This is the Space View satellite. And so kind of zooming in, kind of give us a good view here. See the subtropical jet stream bringing the moisture in all the way from the Pacific across Mexico into South Texas. That's why we have the cloud cover that we have been having and will continue to have, but just don't have the lifting mechanism present to get that moisture building skyward and creating rain showers and thunderstorms, at least not yet. A front will aid in that coming up toward the end of the week. And right now, temperature is just mentioned in the 50s from Victoria northward, 60s along the immediate coast. It's up 1 degree in Port O'Connor. They were 65 degrees a half hour ago. Now they're 66 degrees, and it'll continue to rise pretty rapidly, the temperatures, as we go throughout the rest of the day today. So it's be rather warm today, especially by the weekend. Quick look at your headlines, what we're tracking. Warm and humid conditions, yes. Rain chances increasing in time. And cool weekend ahead. Oh, yeah, it's going to be very nice. How cool will it get? And what are the rain chances for us? We'll give you the details on that coming up later in the full forecast this half hour. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. 3 suspects were arrested in DeWitt County and are facing charges of stealing a San Antonio Police Department vehicle. Cuero Police and DeWitt County deputies took into custody Benjamin Willis, Mason Neighbors, and Douglas Knathan. They are charged with stealing a black Kia Optima. The chase into DeWitt County reached speeds of over 120 miles per hour. The 35-year-old Knathan is in the DeWitt County Jail for possession of a dangerous drug charge in lieu of $4,000 in bonds. New this morning, a man recovering in an area hospital after a truck hit him at a Victoria intersection. It happened around 9:30 last night on Navarro and Glasgow. The man reportedly got hit while riding his bike. We don't know the extent of his injuries or his condition at this time. 25 News Now has reached out to authorities for more information, and we're still waiting on those details. President Biden unveiled his sweeping $7.3 trillion proposed budget plan for 2025. The president's budget blueprint calls for lowering costs for the American people, protecting and strengthening Social Security and Medicare, reducing the deficit, and increasing taxes on the wealthy and corporations. His proposal for 2025 also includes a $4.7 billion emergency fund for border security to help ramp up operations in the event of a migrant surge, which includes adding hundreds of border agents. The request likely to fail as congressional Republicans already refuse to fund $13.6 billion in emergency supplemental funding aimed at border security. We'll go to Washington for more on the plan for the next fiscal year later on Sunrise. Former Trump advisor Peter Navarro has been directed to report to federal prison. Navarro was sentenced to 4 months in prison for defying a January 6 committee subpoena. According to a new court filing, Navarro has been directed to report to federal prison in Miami on March 19th. His lawyers have asked the federal appeals court in D.C. to postpone that surrender date so that Navarro can remain free while he appeals his conviction. If the D.C. Circuit also rejects Navarro's request, his lawyers say they are prepared to appeal to the Supreme Court. And now to Washington and a proposal to potentially ban TikTok in the U.S. over concerns about its Chinese parent company. The proposal could take a big step forward today.
Morning, members of Congress are preparing to receive a classified briefing from U.S. intelligence agencies on the security threat posed by TikTok. It comes ahead of a House vote tomorrow on a bill that would require TikTok's Chinese parent company to sell its U.S. operations to an American company or be banned from the U.S.
I have a lot of concern about the interference of authoritarian and totalitarian governments like China and like Russia in our open and free and democratic society.
The bill is expected to pass the House with bipartisan support. Its future in the Senate remains unclear. U.S. intelligence agencies have included TikTok among their top threats to national security. The company says a ban would trample the First Amendment rights of 170 million Americans. People who make a living on TikTok videos have flooded Capitol Hill opposing the bill.
90% of our sales are on TikTok Shop, and we would basically we would lose all of our customers.
At a national security hearing yesterday, FBI Director Christopher Wray warned the Chinese government may be able to use TikTok to control software on millions of users' devices.
And they said, we want you to put out videos that make Americans fight with each other or spread conspiracy theories and get them at each other's throat. ByteDance can't go to Chinese court and fight the Communist Party. They would have to do it.
That's my understanding, and I would just add that that kind of influence operation, or the different kinds of influence operations you're describing, are extraordinarily difficult to detect.
Top intelligence officials also warn of unprecedented threats against the U.S., including concerns about China and Russia trying to use artificial intelligence to influence the presidential election, and concerns about dangerous individuals coming across the southern border.
M1, ABC News, Washington.
Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:38 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. The Salvation Army of Victoria's Life Enrichment Center is set to open this morning. Plus, President Biden quickly attacking Donald Trump's recent comments where he seemed to suggest cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid to tackle the budget deficit. That coming up.
We'll take a look at the temperatures. By the 6 p.m. hour, we're in the mid-70s, and maybe even a little bit warmer by the time we get to your Wednesday afternoon, as you see coming up right there, well above 80 degrees by 4 o'clock. And we'll give us some rain chances headed our way. The cooler temperatures also head our way too. We'll take a look coming up in your forecast. And good morning, everyone. Trey Mining is here, and let's take a look at the temperatures by the 6 p.m. hour. We're in the mid-70s here in the Golden Crescent area, in the Victoria area, and we're seeing temperatures in the 60s coming up for the overnight into early morning hours for your Wednesday, and then we're above 80 degrees by the time we get to Wednesday afternoon. That's going to keep us going through the weekend with cool temperatures by then as well. We'll take a look at the wind speeds. Well, off the Gulf of Mexico, 5 to 10 miles per hour at best. That'll continue throughout the entire day, bringing in that moisture off the Gulf of Mexico and keeping us on the humid side. But just don't have a system to lift that moisture up as of yet and give us significant rainfall. But that'll be changing in time. We see the satellite radar composite, all the moisture coming in from the south and southwest across the state, front to the north of Panhandle now, moving through our area by the Friday time frame, maybe even early into Saturday with better rain chances. Cooler by the weekend. We'll take a look at those temperatures specifically in a 7-day outlook to come. Now, stay tuned. Here's Zach with sports.
It may be spring break for our area schools, but baseball season marches right along. Victoria East taking on King yesterday over at Riverside. Gage Goldman on the mound for the East Side. Strike 3 looking, ends the top of the 5th inning, and the Titans trying to add to their 7-1 lead in the bottom half. Lucas Rodriguez, I say he's hit by the pitch, but he really just decided to wear it. Some small ball gets him to third with 1 out, and Ryan Steele does his job. Deep fly ball, and Rodriguez scampers home. Titans pouring it on. It's 8-1 now in the top of the 6th inning. Goldman in some trouble. 2 runners on, nobody out, but he's going to get a big strikeout to get the first out of the inning, but he's not out of the woods just yet. Till this ground ball, pitcher's best friend, a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play on the very next pitch. Way to work out of trouble. Titans fired up. After that one in the home half, nothing doing at the plate. They send Gage to the mound to finish what he started. After 2 quick outs, he's got 2 runners on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and pitch 102 would seal the deal. Goldman with a complete game, allowing just 5 hits, 0 earned runs. Titans move to 2-0 in district play. With your 25 sports now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. President Joe Biden on the campaign trail this week, wasting no time attacking Donald Trump's recent comments seeming to threaten cutting entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicaid. This as Biden releases his vision for the next fiscal year as the general election kicks into high gear.
President Joe Biden quickly slamming new comments from his GOP presidential rival Donald Trump, who seemed to suggest he would be open to slashing entitlement programs like Social Security.
I'm never going to allow that to happen.
Trump was asked by CNBC whether the former president has changed his outlook on how to, quote, handle entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, in order to tackle the national debt.
There is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, and in terms of also the theft and the bad management of entitlements, tremendous bad management of entitlements. There's tremendous amounts of things and numbers of things you can do.
Biden tweeting, not on my watch. The president's re-election campaign also seizing on Trump's comments, out with a new ad.
If anyone here tries to cut Social Security, Medicare, or raise the retirement age, I will stop you.
The Trump campaign claims his words are being distorted. President Biden also unveiling his new budget proposal for the next fiscal year, which includes restoring the expanded child tax credit, a first-time homebuyer's tax credit, and lowering prescription drug prices. The president in the battleground state of New Hampshire saying he would pay for it all by raising taxes on the wealthy, but never for those making less than $400,000.
Folks, it's about fundamental fairness. Do you really think the wealthy and big corporations need another $2 trillion tax breaks? Because that's what he wants to do.
Trump, meanwhile, taking to social media to say what one of his first acts as president will be, saying he would close the border and free the January 6 hostages being wrongfully imprisoned. In an effort to meet with voters in every battleground state following his State of the Union address, President Biden travels next to Wisconsin and Michigan. Meanwhile, Trump may be in court Thursday for his classified documents case. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you agree with Trump on cutting entitlement programs? Okay, let's take a look. 42% of you say yes. When we started the Sunrise shows, that was 100%. So now just 42% of you say yes. And 58% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from y'all all day. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. The Salvation Army of Victoria's Life Enrichment Center is set to open today. Construction started September 1st at the Salvation Army's home office. That's at 1302 North Lewis Street. And it features a classroom with computers, a library, a laundry facility, a study area. The center also has a medical room where people can receive care, assessments, and referrals from the Texas A&M Medical Residency Program, who will send interns to work in the medical room.
We have a chance to get this thing open. And this is going to be something that we're going to be providing services that are unique to the community.
The Salvation Army is set to host a grand opening today at 11:30 a.m. The time is now 6:46 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come, two films help to boost the number of viewers for the Oscars to the highest rating in 4 years.
Good morning. Trey Mining here, and we're seeing some clouds out there this morning. No rain as of yet, mostly dry throughout the entire day today. And this trend is going to continue not only for your day Tuesday into Wednesday. By the time we get to Thursday, you're seeing some rain chances increasing by then, better chances by Friday. But today, though, looking at Victoria, we see temperatures in the 60s to start off with, mid-upper 70s by 3 o'clock will be a daytime high. Notice the clouds in place, mostly cloudy skies. And in Port Lavaca, 75, 76 degrees by the afternoon. Daytime high there reached about 3 o'clock, mostly cloudy skies. Cuero about the same in the upper 70s for highs, with a little bit of breeze in the air and cloudy skies to take us through the next day or two. And then increasing rain chances starting off slowly but surely by Thursday. Better chances on your Friday with the front moving on through. And notice that front will cool us down in the 70s for highs, even 60s for highs, coming up by Monday with rain chances Thursday into Sunday and Monday.
Barbie and Best Picture winner Oppenheimer helped to boost the number of viewers for the 96th Academy Awards to the highest rating in 4 years. According to Nielsen data released Monday, this year's Oscars, hosted for the 4th time by Jimmy Kimmel, had 19.5 million viewers. That's a 4% jump over last year. That strategy by the Academy and ABC to go with an earlier start time this year on the first day of daylight saving time seems to have worked. More people stayed up and watched until the end. The ratings rebound comes after the Oscars had an all-time low viewership for its 2021 show because of the pandemic. And here are the 3 winners for Predict the Awards. Joseph, Nancy, and Zoe each win a $50 gift card to Dick's Food Store. Thank you to everyone who took part in Predict the Awards. We'll reach out to the winners. Congrats. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A Boeing whistleblower who raised concerns about the company's production standards has died. Five people are dead following a school bus crash in Illinois Monday. It occurred around 11:30 a.m. in Schuyler County near Rushville, which is about 230 miles southwest of Chicago. The bus crossed over into oncoming traffic for unknown reasons in front of a semi-truck which was hauling sand. The impact sparked a fire that engulfed both vehicles. The truck driver, bus driver, and all 3 children aboard the bus were killed. The Schuyler Industry School District canceled classes Tuesday and Wednesday out of respect for the victims. Officials still investigating the crash, and they're trying to determine why the school bus veered into oncoming traffic. A Boeing whistleblower who had raised concerns on the company's production standards has died. 62-year-old John Barnett died from what the Charleston County Coroner's Office described as what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound on Saturday. Barnett worked for Boeing for 32 years until he retired in 2017. He filed a whistleblower complaint against Boeing in 2017, and his case was up for trial this June. A BBC report says he had given evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company days before his death. He had been scheduled to appear in court again Saturday for his third day of depositions related to the suit, but never showed up. A University of Missouri student is missing in Tennessee. Nashville police say 22-year-old Riley Strain is missing after last being seen Friday night in downtown Nashville. Strain and some of his fraternity members were at a bar when he got kicked out at 10 p.m. At this time, we don't know much about the situation. The police say hospital and jail checks turned up nothing. Strain's parents drove from Springfield, Missouri to Nashville to help with the investigation. Strain is about 6 feet, 5 inches tall, 165 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. Several people were hospitalized after a school bus crashed into a building in Boston's Dorchester neighborhood Monday. Police say it happened around 4:40 p.m. near Wentworth Street. First responders transported 4 people on the bus, 2 children and 2 adults, to an area hospital. Their conditions are unknown at this time. Authorities have deemed the home the bus crashed into unsafe for people to stay in. The cause of the crash is under investigation. In North Carolina, deputies are investigating a daycare after 2 children were hospitalized for ingesting fentanyl pills. They say the children were given candy by an employee, which was later thought to be fentanyl, and they were initially unresponsive but were treated and released from the hospital. Officials say the daycare is cooperating with the investigation. No arrests have been made. The top candidates in 2 Lavaca County races will go head-to-head once again, this time in a runoff election. The seat's up for grabs. State Representative for District 30, Lavaca County Sheriff as well, and that election is slated to kick off with early voting on May 20th. In the race for Sheriff, Stephen Greenwell picked up 43% of the votes, and incumbent Micah Harmon had 33% of the ballots. The final showdown is set to get underway May 28th. House Speaker Dade Phelan took a risk on Paxton's impeachment. It may end his career. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a final check of our forecast with Trey. Trey, how's it looking out there?
Not too bad at all. Temperatures mild, well, rather warm, 76 degrees by the time we get 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Cloudy, partly cloudy skies all day long. The same will go for Wednesday. A little bit warmer by Wednesday and lasting through Friday. See a front moving through late in the day Friday into your Saturday, which will give us a nice cool weekend, but rain chances will stay with us. Not anything widespread or anything of that nature, but there'll be a pretty good chance on your Friday into Saturday with the front moving through at 40%. Notice the low temperature is pretty much staying consistent in the 60s, maybe near 70 degrees by your Friday morning before the front moves through. Much cooler by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. Look at the highs on Monday, are probably in the 60s all day long. So a little bit of cool air headed our way again. We'll keep the rain chances in, as that front will be pretty much lingering over the region. Make sure the rain chances stay alive for us. It looks like they will. And outside of that, well, running the air conditioners today, increasing the humid with a sunny to partly cloudy skies. Same goes for you Wednesday. And we'll have another cool air blast I just mentioned coming up by the weekend. Better enjoy it while we have it, because summer is not that far away.
Yes, that microwave weather. We better enjoy the springtime while we have it.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Remember, follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Don, Mac, and Zach today for 25 News at 5, 6, and 10.